Let's move on to Defensive Player of the Year. When you look at these odds, Nick Bosa coming off his first win has the fifth best odds at plus 1,100. At least he did on Caesars. We'll see what it pulls up here on DraftKings. Micah Parsons is the favorite at, what does it say, plus 500 there? Plus 500.
5-1. Yeah, 5-1 for Parsons, 8-1 for Myles Garrett, TJ Watt, 8.5, 12 for Nick Bosa, 15 for Sauce, 20-1 for Max Crosby, 25-1 for Chris Jones, Aaron Donald, Aiden Hutchinson, and Hassan Reddick.
This is actually a good lesson to make sure that you guys are line shopping, because I got all of my odds from Caesars today. They're different here.
Vastly different.
Yeah, so different. So make sure if you like something, look at all the books that you have money in and bet with the best line that you can get there. Okay, one more trivia question for the fellas. And this one, I think is pretty easy. Okay. How many times has a Watt brother won Defensive Player of the Year?
I believe the answer is 4.
That is correct. 4. Now, who can name what years and assign a name to it?
Okay, so TJ Watt won in 2021.
Correct.
JJ Watt won in 2010.
Nope.
11.
Nope.
12.
Yes.
12 was with the New York Super Bowl with the damn it. I knew that because I was there for that one because Rodgers won MVP that year and Olivia Munn showed up and we were all like, oh my God, Olivia Munn, oh my God. No, not a good. Okay, that was what I sounded like. I was like geeking out, like, oh my God.
All right,
oh my
so
God.
2012.
2014.
Yes.
And 2015.
Correct.
Oh, not bad.
Not bad.
I knew it was 3 or 4. I just couldn't remember the year it started. It was when I started covering.
Okay. All right. Yes. All right. So let's go.
Actually, ironically, I have the list of Defensive Player of the Year literally open on my computer. I was too stupid to look down and figure out what years it was. Well, I wish I had.
We know you're not a cheater.
That's right.
You're not a cheater. So that's good to know. Okay, let's go in reverse this time. Emory, first give us your long shot, then your mid-range, and then your favorite for Defensive Player of the Year.
My long shot is Kayvon Thibodeau. I expect this dude to go off this year. Like, I'm talking 15 sack going off. You know what I'm saying? Like, his body looks different. I've been at training camp. His body looks different. He actually looks like he put on some good pro weight. Last year, his pads looked like he was wearing them Jim Thorpe pants. It was all baggy. You're like, man, he looks skinny. But now he's filled out his frame. He's back to what he looked like at Oregon. And his twitch is still there. The power is still there. He's not dealing with any kind of nagging injury issues that lingered into last season. This dude should have a phenomenal season. So that's my long shot. My mid-tier guy is Aiden Hutchinson. You know, I feel like Hutchinson, if we're expecting Detroit to do things better this year and get to the playoffs, we all, I think, believe that Detroit will either win the division or get to the playoffs. I feel like Aiden Hutchinson will have one of those years. We saw this dude catch interceptions last year, sacks. He's making game-changing plays that need to be made at the right time. So I'm always big on guys having those wild plays. Just like with the Heisman Trophy, you better have those wild moments. Hutchinson has a chance to do that, which how much Detroit we're going to be watching this season. And I'm not going to play around with the favorite. I'm going with Micah Parsons. This is someone that's going to probably approach 20 sacks this season with how dynamic he is and has been since stepping foot on the field. When it was funny because when he was coming out of college, remember he set out that year. And so I didn't have him as my number one inside linebacker because I didn't think he was playing inside linebacker. I didn't know if he was going to be playing outside or inside. I didn't know he was going to play edge, which is a whole different separate position.
No one did when they drafted him. He would have gone like second overall.
Right, it was like, what he's going to play? So totally whiffed on that evaluation. But man, him at edge has been a godsend. That's like Von Miller, when he was out there. So this dude's going to have a phenomenal season. I expect the Cowboys defense to be good as well.
I like that. My long shot, and it's not a terrible long shot, and you'll have to help me because when I was on Caesars, Aaron Donald was listed at plus 2,600. What does it say there on the screen?
25-1 for Donald. Yeah.
25-1. anytime you can get Aaron Donald considered a sleeper, you're going to have to go ahead and take that. And I know that the Rams are not supposed to be good this year. They're in retooling, but Donald missed some time last year, but this guy is an absolute beast and he's always going to be up there for me. So I like him as a little bit of a long shot. Middle tier, probably not going to happen. Nick Bosa, 11-1 at Caesars. What is he here, Brinson?
12 to 1. I think that's
a little better odds. To go back to back. I mean, Nick.
I was gonna say just on the archetype thing. We talk about that, and look, you got to be a special player. But since 2014, we mentioned the 2 JJ Watt years. Aaron Donald won back-to-back years and then won a third time. So voter fatigue for Defensive Player of the Year is not a factor. If you have that great a season, they will run it right back with the guy who won the year before.
Okay, I love that. And I do think that the Niners defense, again, number one in the league. We'll see how they are under Steve Wilkes, but I like that. And then also TJ Watt. I'm going back to the Watt farm here. And if he's on this list, I'm always going to take him. I know he isn't exactly the favorite, plus 700 or what is he, plus
8.5 to 1. Yeah, I mean,
8.5 better odds here on DK than on Caesars until last season, where he had a low of 5.5 sacks due to obviously tearing his pectoral muscle. He finished in the top 3 of Defensive Player of the Year voting in 4 consecutive years before he won in 2021. Like you said, Brinson, there isn't exactly voter fatigue for this category. And you just look at what the Steelers look like when he's playing versus when he's not. He played in 10 games last year. They went 8-2. He missed 7 games. They went 1-6 in those games. This guy is an absolute game changer. So I like TJ Watt as my favorite.
So just really quickly on the archetype too, every year since 2011, which is, the new CBA, which is what I like to look at when talking about these awards, it's been a pass rusher except for 2 seasons. Luke Kuechly in 2013. He just had, it was Luke Kuechly. He stepped on the scene, won Defensive Rookie of the Year, and then second season just had another monster year and won Defensive Player of the Year. And then 2019, when Stephon Gilmore won it for the Patriots at cornerback. So you want to bet on pass rushers. Gilmore's year, there were just really it was kind of there was we don't know who to vote for. There's not a great option, but Gilmore led the league in interceptions, 20 passes defense. He was great on an elite defense. And then Kuechly again, barring a really, really great season from a linebacker, or a cornerback, or a lack of a big season from a pass rusher, which is really unlikely to occur in a 17-game year where teams are dropping back 65% of the time, you want to bet on these pass rushers. That is the way you should go with this award, is to pick pass rushers. Both of you guys picked 3, and I have 3 as well. Long shot wise, I'm going to go, I think I like what Emory went, but I'm going to go right next to him and go with Bradley Chubb, my guy out of NC State. Dolphins could surprise some people, win that division. If they do, and he has a great season rushing the passer, you can see, and the analytics help now these days where you can say, oh, he's great against the run, et cetera, et cetera. In terms of the mid-range guy, I actually went Aaron Donald at 25 to 1 or 26 to 1. Again, I think Katie's spot on. It's anytime you can bet on Aaron Donald at 25 to 1 or longer, take a shot on it, because they don't have to be great. The Rams, if Aaron Donald has an Aaron Donald year, the voters will reward him. And I think they're more than willing to do that versus giving him a comeback player of the year. I had Hassan Reddick on that list too. I think he's a little banged up and he's having surgery, so probably don't want to bet on him. I think I would probably go to Nick Bosa, who as long as he gets contractually taken care of, 12 to 1. He hadn't gotten paid, right? I didn't miss that, did he? He's still
no, he hasn't. He's going to. I think he's going to be the highest paid. Nobody's worried about it. Yeah.
If he gets paid, he's under 10 to 1. So if he gets paid and we know he's going to play the full season, he probably drops under 10 to 1. So now would be the time to bet Nick Bosa before that deal comes in the start of the year.